that's fucking old Coggins. Walton Coggins.
Goggins with a
Walton
G.
Coggins, yeah, that's him walking.
It's not, but you know what I mean. It's just an
I'm gonna believe that it is.
Okay, well you can believe whatever you want.
The greatest Southern actor of all times.
He is pretty rad, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, we finally got to watch like the last bit of Fallout, and it's like, man, they better not make us wait like another couple of years for the next season.
Fucking assholes.
They left it like
what, 2 years almost?
I think it was 2 years
18
before.
months.
Because they kind of I mean, they did wrap up a lot of stuff, but they left a lot of stuff open too, like that was going to happen. So,
okay, name of the movie's Pod.
Tom picked this one.
I picked this one.
We were scrolling through
based on the trailer.
Like, that looked good, like for the trailer.
It was a short movie. It's only like an hour and 15 minutes.
It was 80 minutes.
80 minutes.
79 minutes. 70
What's the difference?
That's
an hour and 10
roughly.
minutes?
Yeah. No, that's an hour and
60,
18 minutes. 19 minutes.
Okay.
Something
all right.
Like that.
About a dude living up in a vacation house in the middle of nowhere. He got it from his dad, I think, the house, right?
I'm assuming that they're because they made there was an implication that their parents were dead, so I'm assuming that they just inherited that and he was living there.
And he's a disabled vet, man, and he's in the VA, young guy, and he finds a damn pod. It kills the dog.
Yeah, dog doesn't make it. Sorry.
Yeah. It happens in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then he calls his brother, and he's just talking out of his head. He's got all kinds of schizophrenia. It's part of his problems. Although he says it's not schizophrenia, it's because of the experiments they did to him. There's all kinds of weird shit. So he grabs his sister and goes up to the cabin to go save the brother before they call the doctor on him. Make sure he's taking his medicine.
Yeah, to see what's going on.
To see what he's talking about with this fucking pod. And he gets up there and the place is fucked up. He's crazy. And turns out there was a monster. There was a pod.
Well, I mean, after all that buildup, it's like, there's really going to be.
Yeah, there's a pod. And you find this out just in the trailer. And I said, let's see this movie. So we watched it. It was a pretty good movie. It was okay.
It's pretty decent, yeah.
Yeah, it was. My only gripe is that it was padded out with a bunch of scenes that has okay acting, over the top okay acting.
It's a bit over the top, but it was a choice.
A stylistic choice.
Yeah, and like I didn't have a problem with it, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I think that because like I said, the movie's only 79 minutes long, and the director, Mickey Keating, he has done a couple other movies. He did one called Darling that's on Shudder that actually I kind of wanted to see because I heard it was kind of Polanski-esque.
Okay.
Like psychological horror. I just haven't got around to watching it yet. And he did one called Carnage Park that was kind of like a Sam Peckinpah type of movie.
What's that?
He did like Straw Dogs and he did like all those like violent like westerns and shit.
Okay, yeah.
And so the director of this actually started out like as a teenager. He was an intern at Blumhouse.
Okay.
And then so he's kind of worked his way up. And he's a big fan of like psychological horror, and he specifically said that he wanted this movie to feel kind of like the Twilight Zone or the X-Files.
Yeah.
Where for a long time you're not really sure if the dude's just crazy or if something's really going on.
Yeah.
And
both.
I called it because Tom's like, well, why is it called Pod? Because I'm sure it's like a monster. I said, I bet he was referencing Invasion of the Body Snatchers. That's what I thought. Right. And when I looked up the notes, yes, that is absolutely what he's talking about. Because when he's talking about, he's calling it a pod, but it's not actually a pod. It looks more like, which is what I was picturing, from like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, in particular the 1978 version, because I know there's been like 4 versions of it, the Philip Kaufman one, where they have the pod, but then like the body that starts to come out of there that looks kind of like a human, but it's like all kind of like fucked up looking.
It's corpse-like to me. It looked like a mummy kind of.
It looks kind of mummy-like. So so that's kind of what the inspiration was like for
Eddie
the monster.
From Iron Maiden.
Yeah, a little bit.
Skinny, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like.
But but also kind of like corpsey, mummy-ish.
Yeah. It was something that came out of a pot. And it was a military experiment of some sort. And he makes some wild claims. Oh, it followed me all the way here, because he was he said that he got caught up in a military experiment. He saw people getting eaten by pods.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck's he talking about? He does have some kind of weird schizophrenia, but I don't think he had it until after they experimented on him.
Yeah, but like I
don't
said,
think he normally had that.
They leave a lot of stuff ambiguous, which, like I said, I kind of like, because from what you're led to assume, so like the crazy brother is named Martin, and the sane brother is named Ed, and then the sister is named Lila.
And everybody looks familiar in this.
Well, I know where because I looked her up. Lauren Ashley Carter, who plays Lila. I was like, God damn, where have I seen her? Familiar. She was in The Woman, that Lucky McKee movie, and she was also in Jugface, which is where I recognized her from.
Okay.
But she's been like in a bunch of horror movies, and so she's kind of like a. What do we want to say? She's kind of a drug addict, alcoholic.
I wouldn't call her that. I wouldn't go that far.
Well, she was for sure an alcoholic.
She was a party chick.
And she was just like this party chick living in it. And she kind of...
Dudes would come over and fuck, and then they disappear.
That's
not my boyfriend, Just some,
right.
She was
just
wild.
She was just like that kind of person. Yeah. And so the other brother, you're just through context clues, he's like a family man. He's got kids, and he's also a mental health professional. So from what you're led to assume, the brother Martin, when he got you find out later that he was actually kicked out of the military, is that he has had mental problems for quite a long time. So they're thinking that this is just more of that. Like, he calls and leaves this crazy sounding message on Ed's phone, but he specifically says, Ed, don't come here because it's too dangerous or whatever. But Ed, of course, and his sister are like worried about him, so they go up there anyway, and shit ensues.
Yeah. And this is not a new movie. It's what, 2014, I think?
2015 this came out, yeah.
And it looks good. I like how it was shot. It's got a good kind of shot composition to it, but without being overly artistic. Just trying to get good shots of stuff. Creepy, raw feeling. You can tell it's a low budget movie.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to, and it's supposed to kind of have a real raw feeling to it, and it's good. I like it. I would have liked it even better if I was about 16, 17, watching this shit on cable as a kid.
Yeah.
In the middle of the night. You know what I mean? Fucking back in the day. I would have liked it.
I will also note that Larry Fessenden is in this briefly.
Yeah.
He might have also been a producer on it. I'm not entirely sure because I mean, if you're a horror fan, Larry Fessenden is fucking everywhere, man. He's not only an actor, but he's a director and a writer and everything like that. So, and he's actually really cool about helping like smaller projects like this. So he's in this like toward the end, he shows up. Because, like, the whole time I'm watching, it's mostly just the three characters.
He plays a stereotypical G-man.
Yeah, he's kind of like a Men in Black type character.
Yeah.
But he doesn't show up until probably, 10 or 15 minutes toward the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, like I said, the first probably 2/3, 3/4 of the movie is kind of like a character study. And it's all, it's actually really well done. It all takes place in one house. And it's basically just the three of them kind of arguing or, trying to determine how crazy Martin is. It's like, is there really something in his basement like he says there is? He's saying that he's they've been tracking him through his teeth and he was he pulled his tooth out with pliers and all this other kind of
it had an implant in it that had tracked him down. He believed.
Yeah.
They did find some metal. It was weird.
But like I said, they never
it's
because the sister Lila says it's well that looks like metal or something like that, but they never really say definitively. But I guess since the monster is real, then you're led to believe that probably the bad shit is
and
true.
The G-Man knew about it. G-Man knew where he was, and knew that they were out there fucking hunting, and he evidently shot it. It does have some good ideas in it, and if you're gonna make a low budget flick, this is kind of how you do it. It doesn't try to go too overboard with special effects. It's got a good creature in it.
Yeah, and they don't show it a lot.
They don't show it that much. They don't have to. And the way it's shot, where you don't have to see it. When you do see it, you go, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. And that's good. That's what you need at this budget level. It's mostly just acting. Acting and what do you call it? Atmosphere. It's got its own atmospheric quality to it. For what they spent on this, this is good. This is a good little flick. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I had a really good time with it, and like I said, just keep in mind that it's gonna be more like suspense and kind of like more character study than like full on like monster action.
Yeah, and kind of think of it as kind of an X-File episode with a little bit harder edge.
Yeah, it definitely had kind of an X-Filesy kind of vibe.
It doesn't really kind of have a corporate feel like, you know, fucking X-Files felt like something off of corporate television. You know, it doesn't have that. It's more like indie film. Film, which is good. That's what
they shot it in Maine. And I think the house they shot it in like belonged to one of the producers' dads or something like that. So it's just kind of they probably got
money.
Yeah, you know, saving money. And like I said,
trying to get a film. You know, it
pretty much the entire thing is shot in the house or like in the grounds, like around the house. It's like on a lake or something like that.
What matters
in the snow.
What matters with a movie like this is storytelling, and you know, it told a story.
Yeah, so like I said, I think. I'm going to say I think the guy that played Martin was great, but I think he went a touch overboard.
I think they were kind of supposed to.
But I think
that was the tone of the movie.
Yeah, but like I said, it was a deliberate choice.
Yeah.
So it didn't bother me as much, but it is very the emotions are very overwrought.
It's a histrionic movie.
It is, yeah.
But that they're trying to entertain you with very little money.
Yeah.
So that's what you do. And that, you know, I think it's for a slightly, it's for a horror audience. It's not for a mainstream audience, I don't think.
True.
And I think the audience might skew a little bit young, but I'm not saying, you know, still probably an R-rated movie.
I would imagine. It's not super over-the-top gory or anything,
no.
Like I said, because a lot of it's character study. There is a little bit of blood at the end, little bit of gore at the end, but it's not super.
There's a good effect where one of the characters stabs himself in the neck, and it happens kind of, I didn't expect it. And the way it happened, I bought it. I was like, man, dude stabbed himself in the neck. I kind of
the editing on that was really good.
It looked good, yeah.
Because you were like, oh shit.
And Jenna says, yeah, I bought that gag. That looked good.
Yeah, that actually did did look really good.
And the acting was good.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think they were directed to go over the top. I think they were trying to get kind of a hysterical
tone. And like I said, that kind of goes along with the whole theme of the movie because, you know, the whole premise of the first part of the movie is you're not really sure if this dude's just nuts.
Yeah.
And paranoid because, like I said, he's had mental issues before and he was on medication and things like that. And he had done similar things in the past and said similar things in the past. Yeah. So they were just thinking, oh, this is just more of the same. He's not on his meds. He needs to go back to the hospital or whatever. But he's like telling, no, for real this time. I really did find one of these things and it's in my basement right now. And it's going to kill us all and all this other kind of stuff. And so there's like a lot of, I don't want to call it monologuing, but there is a lot of him like explaining it like in a nutty kind of way.
That was my only criticism of the movie is that there's a lot of dialogue that really
is very dialogue heavy.
It doesn't really have to be there. You could edit 20 minutes out of this film and it would fucking flow, I think, a lot faster and probably a lot better. But once you did that, the movie would be very short.
Well, yeah, like I said, it's only 79 minutes. So
they're padding it.
Yeah.
Which for some people might enjoy that because they're trying.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. I mean, I really like.
They're trying to build suspense.
Yeah,
you know.
But it's like you know, I'm a horror fan, so it's like you're not gonna when you do a movie like this, you're not gonna build up 3/4 of the movie being like, is it real? Is it not real? Of course, it's gonna be real. It's a horror movie. Like you're not gonna be. Although I will say, I was thinking when I watched it that this reminded me, just premise-wise, it's not obviously as good as that, but it reminded me of that movie Bug with Michael Shannon and Ashley Judd, which is a fucking great movie if you haven't seen it. It was actually based on a stage play, and it's kind of a similar premise to this, but it's a psychological horror. It's not a monster movie. but you're really never. But the dude that's in it, that Michael Shannon plays, is kind of the same kind of character where he's like, oh, I got like tracking stuff in my teeth, and he was in the military, and they're in this motel room together, and their delusions start feeding off of each other.
Yeah.
But it's a great, great, great movie, and it kind of reminded me of that in parts. And then when I read about, like, I was reading what the director talking about and stuff like that, that was one of his inspirations for this movie. And I was like, yeah, I thought that it kind of reminded me of that.
The military angle, to me, reminded me a little bit of Jacob's Ladder, I think was the name. Remember Jacob's Ladder?
Yeah.
There was a little bit of that in it.
Yeah, it's just kind of that whole, I was in the military, we got experimented on.
Yeah.
They're doing all this horrible stuff to us. Yeah. And now we're crazy and no one believes us and all this other kind of shit.
Which, that's free. You can just talk about that. You don't have to buy special effects for that. So that's, yeah, good idea.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. So it's like psychological horror, probably like the cheapest, the cheapest horror to do.
Storytelling is free.
Yeah, you don't have to like, pay for any like special effects or blood or gore or anything like that.
Nope.
You can just have people talking and be it scary that way. Yeah. And like, I mean, honestly, a lot of movies that I like that I think are really creepy are that.
Yeah.
Because I think it's much easier.
Yeah.
Like we were okay.
They didn't know how to do it in the 50s.
For example,
that was just dudes in offices talking.
Right. So that's not what I mean.
That's not what we're talking about. Right.
For instance, like we were talking about, I think we mentioned this the other day, but we were rewatching Vivarium.
Yeah.
And I said that's kind of a psychological horror, but it's also kind of cosmic horror, I guess.
Yes,
you could call it that too.
Well, interdimensional fucking parasites.
That's what I mean. It's kind of
Lovecraft.
Kind of cosmic horror.
Yeah.
So, but the thing about it is that they didn't necessarily need like special effects and blood and gore and jump scares and stuff like that, just because the premise of it is just so unsettling.
Yeah.
And honestly, shit like that is way scarier to me than just like monsters popping up in your face. Or
every time we watch,
I mean, I do like that, but
every time we watch Vivarium, it's better with repeated views, like The Shining.
Yeah. I never get sick of The Shining. We just watched it the other day, like a couple weeks ago.
Vivarium is a masterpiece. And you don't hear much people talk about it that much.
I know, it's really sad. It's like really underrated. Like that movie, like kind of creeped the fuck out of me.
Masterpiece of Irish cinema.
It's just really, really good. But yeah, so I kind of feel like this movie, it's, we just found it randomly. I had actually never heard of it. I've heard of the director before because I'd heard of a couple of his other movies. But I'd never heard of this one. I feel like you'd be into it if you were into like the X-Files or something like that. Like I said, Bug or Jacob's Ladder, like things along those lines, like kind of conspiracy kind of shit. It's sort of like that, but keep in mind that a lot of it is psychological horror. You don't really, there is a monster, but you don't see it until the end. But actually, the monster is actually quite good.
Yeah.
And I tend to like that. I tend to like more of a build up. Like I said, if you show your monster too much, it's not scary anymore.
You see it in the final quarter.
Yeah, like you see it then, and it starts fucking people up.
And flashes of it, and the things that it could do. Yeah.
I could have done without that last final blah, like, you know what I mean?
I think they were just trying to give you a fucking send-off because you didn't get to see it that much, so they wanted to show it to you one last time.
And from what I could determine, the director is kind of known for doing that, for doing like this kind of like little like edgy kind of flashes or whatever. Which, like I said, if it's overdone, they need to stop it.
That type of monster, though, it has to, you have to have limited view of it. Because if you shot it for too long, it'd become uninteresting. You'd have to you can only see it in flashes.
See, that's what...
that's like the fucking xenomorph.
Yeah.
You see that shit too much, which now you can see it everywhere. When you were a kid, you weren't quite sure what it looked like.
Yeah, because you never saw the whole thing. You just kind of saw it in the shadows, and you were like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, but nowadays you can freeze frame things and do that. That wasn't really the case back in the fucking 70s and the 80s. But, although I tell you what, fucking Mattel came out with the damn Xenomorph as a doll. Yeah. That big old thing. They're worth a lot of money now.
I know.
That was the first time I actually got a view of what it looked like. And I was like, yeah, I guess that is what it looked like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though. I do kind of feel like there's really a fine line between... I mean, I guess that's why, you know, there's only so many great horror movies and just a bunch of mediocre ones, is there's kind of a fine line between showing the monster and not showing the monster. Like, you can't not show the monster.
Yeah.
But you can't show it too much either, because then... And you can't over-explain it.
Yeah.
You can't... And that's kind of a hard line to walk, and I kind of feel like a lot...
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like if you show it too much or too early or something like that, it just takes all the wind out of your sails.
It depends.
But you can't just like edge people the whole entire movie either, and like just like string people along.
Although what ends up happening, best case scenario, is what happened with the Predator. Now that everybody knows what the Predator actually looks like, you could now do a movie like Badlands.
Yeah.
Where one of them is the main character.
Right.
So it can be done correctly, and that was done over time.
Yeah.
Over a bunch of different movies with different directors. People just slowly got acclimated to what that Predator looked like. When I saw that shit in the 80s from Predator 1 in the fucking theater, I was living in Brazil at the time, and for the first time when that thing took its mask off and I saw that face, and there were some Brazilian chicks next to me, fucking, you know, in their 20s, and they gasped and shit.
Yeah.
And fucking, I was like going, fuck. And as soon as I saw the face of that Predator, I realized that I was watching a masterpiece of cinema.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is good. This movie's gonna be remembered.
You weren't sure like what it was gonna look like, but then it had to be good.
It had to be good, and when they showed it, I was like, oh, okay,
shit, yeah,
because it exceeded.
It still looks good.
It exceeded all my expectations, and I was like, this is one of the greatest movies ever. It's a war movie, a horror movie, and a sci-fi movie, and a military movie. You know, that was just like written by dudes who knew what was up. Veterans wrote that movie after seeing Without Warning, which was a similar movie.
But really not as good.
And I was just like, well, not very good.
Wait, was Without Warning the one that had Jack Palance going, Alien!
Yeah, and he's the old Vietnam veteran trying to fight the alien hunter.
It's not terrible.
It's where they got the idea for Predator.
But
some airborne ranger guys fucking rewrote their own version of that story and slid it underneath the damn door, and fucking up the director goes, yeah, we're gonna make this bitch.
Yeah, it's much better.
Yeah, and everything's legit from a military infantry airborne ranger, SF, because you know I'm ex-airborne ranger. Well, I was in ranger type units, recon platoons and shit. But fucking that was legit state of the art for the time of the 80s. And when I got in fucking 1990, those same uniforms, similar equipment, the similar mentality, that's the way it was. Beautiful movie, written by dudes that actually knew what the deal was.
Yeah, I think
I'm
that's
gonna cut my name into him. I'm gonna cut my name. I didn't really know what they were talking about at the time before, and then after I got out of service, then I knew exactly what Mac was talking about. You know, fucking. You know, the whole platoon got wiped out. They were sole survivors, and that they were best friends. Because you don't understand what that would be like. Everybody got killed except you two. Yeah. Well, what would they? If you were alone, what would happen? They would suspect you of being a coward. Why weren't you killed with all the other ones?
Right.
You know, you must have hid. But no, if you have two, you can now back up each other's stories. No, we were there, man. We fought. Everybody else got wiped out. Yeah. We made it, though. You know what I mean? So it's not you don't have the damn you wouldn't have the survivor's guilt if you were a sole survivor. So that's why those dudes were bonded together. When one died, the other one went crazy. That's only shit that fucking dudes that have been in the infantry units could understand. And only they could write that shit because they were there. But that was a beautiful movie. But I don't know how I got sidetracked on that. How good looking the monster looked.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think, and that movie came out in fucking 1987 when I was in high school, and that still looks good.
Yeah, about 87, 86, 87.
I think it was around then.
Yeah.
I was in high school for sure.
It was actually the best looking one out of all the movies, and I think it's because it was shot on location and it was shot on film, so it's kind of low def, so you can't see any imperfections in the costume. The Predators, which is a really good movie, was kind of in high definition. Yeah. So when they showed the Predators, you could kind of see that's a rubber mask, kind of. Yeah. You know, that's not quite real. When I saw the Predator the first time in the 80s, when that thing took its mask on, felt like I was seeing an actual alien creature.
Yeah. It did look like that.
Like, fuck, because you'd never seen anything like that with the fucking external mandibles and the inner mouth. I was like, that's
that freaked me out.
That head is like, that's the way a scorpion's mouth is.
Yeah.
You know,
I used to have a poster of that from Fangoria, like in my room.
Yeah, and it's like, and it's like a primate, but it's got skin like a frog, or a lizard. You know, some of it was like an alligator.
Yeah, it looked like it could be a real.
It looked like a real creature, but not from Earth. From another version of a Earth-like planet.
Yeah.
And it was sentient, and it had fucking technology. And it was using what it considered primitive technology. So I really love that, coming up in Mississippi, fucking hunting in primitive season, where you're using fucking bow. I got my dad's bow, fucking after he died, fucking, and I was using fucking muzzle loaders and shit. And that's what whoever wrote that movie knew about Southern hunting culture and just American hunting culture, is that there are primitive weapon seasons, and he was in primitive weapon season. You know, fucking nets, spears.
Well, it's more fair because he's hunting like something that's not as
He had a fucking thing like a falcon on his shoulder that shot a fucking beam, but that was a primitive weapon from his point of view.
Yeah.
Fucking badass thinking. Later on, they collapsible spears, nets. You know, shit like that. Traps.
Did we review
vocal decoys?
Did we review without warning? We did, didn't we?
Yeah.
I thought we did.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it was that long ago either.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's why we were interested in doing it. One, I saw it on Brandon Tenold.
Yeah.
And two, I was like, oh, this was like the inspiration for Predator, even though Predator is like a million times better. Yeah. Oracle's here, says familiarity breeds contempt, especially for monsters. Yeah, I agree. Like I said, you got to show it eventually. I mean, you don't have to, but it's just keep it to a minimum. You know what I mean?
Only very few monsters have gotten away with it, and that's the Predator and the Xenomorph, because they look so good that they could become main characters.
Like a character,
they could become a main character. Most of the other ones, they're not good enough for that.
Yeah. Camp guy has a very sad story. Just had to take my 17-plus-year-old toy poodle to the vet for the last time today.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sad. I'm
sorry. Yeah, Beijing's getting old. She can't really keep food down because her kidneys don't work very well.
Yeah,
it's only a matter of time. She's happy, so I'm not going to take her put down because she's still acting like she's happy. So
yeah.
When she starts acting miserable, I'm going to take her down.
Yeah, but you know, she's
close to that age too.
Yeah,
almost 20.
She's getting up there.
Yeah. Cats don't live that long. She's lived a long life.
I know, that makes me so fucking sad. So fucking sad.
I'm not going to think about it.
I know, I try not to.
Yeah.
It says, I could not believe that dog lived that long. Totally blind and stone deaf.
Yeah.
The last year or so. Yeah, it's, you know, like I said, I try not to think about it too much because we've got kitties and I don't like to think about that inevitability.
They're living full lives, though.
Yeah.
And they're not in the wild struggling to survive. They're with their people who are taking care of them, making them safe. So.
And they are spoiled.
Spoiled, yeah.
For sure.
Living good lives.
Holy crap. These cats are just...
Yeah.
We just do everything they ask us to do.
Yeah. They know how to give us commands. So, come here.
Come here.
Please follow me. And that usually means she's going to take me either the food or the brush. Give her a brush.
Yeah, if she wants brush, she jumps up on my bathroom counter.
Yeah.
Because that's where her brush is.
Yeah.
And she goes and starts rubbing on the brush, which is sticking out of the
She'll
thing.
come over to me and then go, and run. Which means follow me.
Come on.
Yeah, come on. And I follow her and go, yeah, this one, brush.
Yeah.
Okay, so brush.
This is the station that we're going to.
She's got little stations that she goes to for different things.
And another thing that she likes to do when she climbs up, I think I said this before, when she climbs up on my bathroom counter, is she likes to steal my little rubber bands. I have this little black hair band, you know, you pull back a ponytail or whatever, and she will just dig and dig and dig around until she finds one, and then she's like, woohoo, and she scoops it up with her little claw, puts it in her mouth, and then looks around like, oh shit, I'm in trouble, and then jumps down and runs off with it.
Yep.
And then she starts flinging it and chasing it. We have little rubber bands all over the fucking hall.
I got a turkey in the oven. I'm gonna go check it.
We got a turkey in the oven.
Yeah, it's a small turkey.
We're doing a Thanksgiving dinner, kind of. Not the whole thing, but turkey, potatoes,
and dressing and gravy,
and all of that. So kind of, it's mostly the good stuff.
I can make green bean casserole tomorrow. I don't really want to make. You don't really like that shit.
I don't really care about green bean casserole. I could take it or leave it. I just like the turkey and the potatoes and the stuffing, really. But yeah, so yeah, we got to go check on that because it's in the oven.
This one, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, like I said, it's not, gonna blow you away or anything like that, but this is a decent sci-fi horror. Like I said, if you like the X-Files, or things like that, like military conspiracy type shit, like psychological horror, then yeah, this is actually really decent. Like I said, Larry Fessenden is in it, but for like 5 minutes, like at the end. But he plays kind of a cool character. He's only in like a few scenes.
Decent low budget indie flick.
Yeah, I don't know how much it costs to make, but it looks like it got like okay reviews. Like I think it's 67-70%, which that's about right.
It's 3 out of 5 stars.
Yeah,
I would probably give it more than that. I'd probably give it 3.5, 4.
Yeah, I mean, I had a good time. I wasn't bored or anything.
Yeah.
So all right, so we're going to wrap it up for this evening. Thank you everybody for hanging out with us. Wednesday night show in honor of Valentine's Day. We're actually going to be talking about some gangsters. We're going to be talking about the North Side Gang and the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. I know we did a show about, I think we did a show about Al Capone, and I know for sure that we did a show about Prohibition, where I think we brought up the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, but we didn't do like a whole ass show on it, and we didn't really talk about the North Side Gang and like, Bugs Moran and all of that kind of stuff. So that's what we're going to do the show about on Wednesday. Hopefully the internet doesn't go out again. Try not to jinx it. But yeah, so hopefully you guys can join us for that. Have a good rest of your evening, you guys. Have a good day tomorrow, and we will see you guys again on Wednesday night.